Hey, everybody, welcome into Sports Hub STL presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours, and you are watching Domesticated Gamblers, your home for St. Louis sports gambling talk. I'm Eric Sontag, and I'm joined by Tito Ulrich. Sean is out this week. He's enjoying some family time on vacation, so Tito and I are here to break it all down for you. We are recording the show on Thursday night, May 29th, and we'll be previewing this weekend series for the Cardinals against the Texas Rangers. We got St. Louis City SC and a potential new manager bounce situation to discuss for Saturday, Tito. We will talk the Battlehawks and DC Defenders on Friday as well. We got NHL and NBA playoffs. And of course, we'll have our best bets from across the world of sports. Hit the like button, subscribe to our Sports Hub STL YouTube channel. Also, leave us a comment on these videos and we can talk gambling with you there. Domesticated Gamblers also available on podcast on Apple and Spotify. And our show today is brought to you by James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. Tito, what's going on, man? How we feeling?
I feel phenomenal, man. After the shellacking I gave you a few days ago, pickleball court, my oh my, Tito's in a wonderful mood. Never mind that press conference from STL City earlier on the day. I got some hot takes to deliver about that. And my Redbirds, my goodness, my Redbirds, they finally figured out how to come back in games. And oh my, the offense is on fire. And I'm excited to break that down as well. So I'm loaded for bear, Eric. Be ready for a lot of hot toilet takes from Tito today, baby. Woo!
These Redbirds have been awesome. Watching them. Yeah, pickleball, you took my measure this week. We'll begin a rematch here very, very shortly. Let's kick off the show, of course, by talking these St. Louis Cardinals. But first, make sure I want to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor here on the show, and that is James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. And I want you to stop what you were doing and really listen to this, because this is truly not just an advertisement. This is a genuine recommendation, because James is the real deal and he can make your life a lot easier and potentially save you a bunch of money. And he can make your life easier because if you've ever been through a claims process with an insurance agent, I'm sure a lot of you out there have had a nightmare experience. Well, how about James Carlton having 426 five-star reviews on Google? There are hundreds of people out there besides me vouching for this guy, okay? And I'm sure a lot of you out there are going through this right now with the tornadoes that blew through St. Louis a couple weeks ago. So if you go through a claims process and you're not happy with the service you get, or your agent gets exposed as not being very good, I highly recommend you get in touch with James Carlton and State Farm and consider making the switch like I did and like Tito did. So for me, at the end of last year, my renewal notice came in from my old agent and the rates had gone way up. And nothing had happened to me last year. No accidents, no speeding tickets, no claims, but everything was way more expensive. So I reached out to James and his team. I got a free quote based on the exact same coverage I had before. And now I'm saving over $800 this year by switching my home and auto policies to James Carlton and State Farm. Like $800 is significant. That covered my trip to Indiana last weekend to see the Pacers play the Knicks in game 3 and had plenty of money left over from that. So it takes just a few minutes to get a quote at carltoninsurance.net, or you can give them a call. During normal business hours, you will talk to a person right then and there that can help you. When you get a quote, mention Domesticated Gamblers or Sports Hub STL, and they'll make a donation on your behalf to Mizzou's NIL fund. So contact James Carlton today. The phone number 314-961-4800, or go to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. And Tito, let's start with these Cardinals. It has been a heck of a week and really a heck of a month now at this point. They are now 18-5 in their last 23 games, 32-24 overall. And if the playoffs started today, they would be in as a wild card. A week ago, we talked about this. The Cards were plus 260 to make the playoffs. That number has shrunk big time. It is now down to plus 125. So it is not quite there, but it is approaching coin flip territory for the Cardinals to make the playoffs. So they just really continue to play good ball. Like, I just don't really think this is a hot streak anymore. They're just playing really good ball. This is what they do. And now they head to Texas to take on the Rangers this weekend. Your series odds on DraftKings, the Rangers are a minus 130 favorite to take at least 2 out of 3 here. The Cardinals are at even money, plus 100. As we record this Thursday night, the Rangers don't have their Friday starter listed, and that means we do not have a line yet for Friday's game. It is expected to be Jack Leiter for the Rangers. It is his turn in the rotation. And Tito, it's going to be our boy, Matthew Liberatore, on the mound for the Cards. So, man, how are you feeling about these Redbirds, and just what do you think about this matchup with the Rangers this weekend?
Yeah, I'm feeling phenomenal. We talked a few days ago about that one game against the Orioles where it was kind of like a blah game where it didn't seem like very impressive. So I was a little worried, but like I told you earlier on, man, that it's really good to see that them come back, being down multiple runs and seeing the offense come alive. We've been down in the dumps about Jordan Walker. This kid, I think he's starting to figure it out. I'm getting kind of chills thinking about it right now. I just picked him up on fantasy, so I'm hoping for big time things from Jordan Walker over the next several weeks. I'm still not impressed with Nolan Gorman. I saw a report where the Yankees might be looking for a right-handed bat, a power bat. So third baseman for the Yankees is not really producing very well. So I know there's some conspiracy theorists talking about maybe Arenado's on the move to the Yankees, but I totally disagree with that take whatsoever. I think this team is ready to soar. Love Libby tomorrow night in Texas. Texas is on an absolute downturn right now, 2-8 over the last 10. They can't beat anyone with a over 500 record. So I like the Redbirds in this matchup. I think the books maybe we'll take a look at the stats, either tomorrow or after the Redbirds win tomorrow night, and maybe make some adjustments. But my oh my, if I was a betting man, I'm taking the Redbirds to win the series, 5 times out of 6 for sure, baby. So let's go Redbirds. Let's go Libby. Let's see Jordan Walker have a couple home runs this weekend. Give Tito some help with the home runs in the fantasy market, baby.
Now, you mentioned Gorman. I've seen a couple defensive plays from him the last week or two at third base. One, he made a real bad throwing error trying to turn a double play the other day. I think that was on the Monday game in Baltimore that was just ugly. And then I think the week before that, he had one of those plays where it was a grounder down the line. And you know how Arenado, like, backhands that ball, can do that jump throw to first base, and it's always a rocket. And Gorman's was just like, he had nothing. And it was just like, I think we would make sure we not take for granted what we get to watch at third base every day with a future Hall of Famer, Nolan Arenado. I know the bat is not what it used to be, but the glove that he has, he can come up with some big hits. We saw him have a huge home run in Baltimore to help win that game. Yeah, I'm with you. I do not want to be dealing this dude at this point, and what that can do to the fan base, because we're starting to feel some juice in the ballpark
Yeah.
again, which we're loving. So, like, and I agree with you. I really like the Cardinals to win this series against the Rangers. Like, I guess, like, the books have the Rangers favored because DeGrom is scheduled to pitch on Sunday, and they're expecting him to beat Fetty. And then the Rangers just got to win one on Friday or Saturday. But, like, I don't think it's a slam dunk the Rangers win on Sunday with DeGrom. Like, Cardinals have beaten plenty of great pitchers this season. Paul Skeens twice, Zach Wheeler, just to name a couple. I know there's been plenty others. It really set the tone. Pablo Lopez, the season opener, the Cardinals had a fantastic opening series against, it was Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan, and Bailey Ober, who were 3 good
Yeah.
pitchers, and they swept him. So that really set a tone. So yeah, Liberatore, I mean, we're just totally infatuated with this guy, like total man crush on the show. So it's probably him against Leiter. Looks like Sonny Gray against likely Patrick Corbin. I mean,
Yeah.
Cardinals might have this series wrapped up by Saturday night, don't you think?
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think we even need to get to Sunday to wrap up the series win. So, give me the Redbirds the first 2 games, no doubt. I mean, I love Sonny Gray right now as long as he's healthy, and there's no indication that he's not healthy. So, give me them all day. And back to Arenado. I mean, yeah, I think he's kind of rejuvenated with this young club and some of this little spunk that's going on with Mason Wynn and with the center fielder Victor Scott. So I'm fired up. I definitely don't want to see them moved, and he's coming up with some clutch hits recently. So let's keep it moving, baby.
You can tell he's still not really on board with the bird flapping thing. He's
No,
kind
no,
of
no, no.
very, very begrudgingly will do the bird flap when he gets a hit, which is pretty hilarious. So yeah, I really like the Cardinals really at -110 or better to win this series. I think that's a great bet that you can find on DraftKings. As for Friday, just looking at possible plays with what we have with our limited information. Have you seen these stats on the unders in the Texas Rangers games? It is crazy. The under this season in Rangers games has a record of 39, 17, and 1. That is a 70% hit rate for the under in Rangers games. If you look at just their home games, the under is 24 and 6.
Wow.
That is 80%. I don't know what the hell's going on there. I feel like it's not like it's not a bad park. I know there's probably some days the roof's open, some days it's not. So I would definitely take a hard look at the under in all three
Yeah.
games this weekend, especially first 500. You know how I like a first 500, Tito. But my play for Friday, assuming it is Jack Leiter, it's going to be on the Cardinals to win. Like I might even take the Cardinals on the run line at the -1.5, depending on what the number is. Like, I just think Liberatore should be able to shut this team down. Like the Rangers, they have all these unders because they can't score, and they're pitching
Right.
pretty well too, but they can't score. They averaging 3.25 runs per game. That is 28th in baseball. And our boy Libby's now given up 2 runs or less in 8 consecutive starts now. So, like, I see no reason why he'd give up more than 2. Bullpen's going to be fresh after the off day. Like, I mean, Liberatore, he's completely in our circle of trust now. I mean, wouldn't you say, Tito, as you're hacking up along there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy, he goes into the sixth inning every time. I love his mythology. I love his method of madness. I love the fact that he's able to throw strikes. He gets gets the ball in play sometimes. I'm not a big fantasy lover of Liberatore. The K per nine is not overall great, but he's a lot of wins, a lot of quality starts. So there's a lot of things to take advantage of from his perspective, fantasy wise. But man, what when you talk about what's the run line? What are you talking about related to taking the Cardinals run line? I'm a novice gambler. I don't know all these lingo that you would Mr. Sharp talk about from time to time. So help inform me on what run line means.
Yeah, and this is good because we have a lot of probably new gamblers that have only a little bit of experience, so they're getting revved up to start December 1st. Once this thing launches in Missouri, Sean and I bet all the time. Tito, you got the fan perspective and you're learning. So the run line means taking the Cardinals -1.5 on the spread. So if you take that, obviously you're getting better odds. Usually, a game like this, I would imagine that's going to be a plus money bet. So if the Cardinals only win the game by 1 run, you would lose the bet if you take Cardinals -1.5. So they would need to
No
win by
matter what.
yeah, no matter what. And really, the Cardinals winning this game by 2 runs or more, I think is a really good chance to happen. Because, like I said, I don't think the
Right.
Rangers are going to score very much on Liberatore. Cardinals offense now 7th in runs per game in Major League Baseball at 4.8 runs per game. Like, who would have thought that before the season? And this Leiter, when you really take a look at Jack Leiter under the hood, he's really lucky to have this ERA of 4.17. Results look pretty good over the last 3 starts in particular, but 2 of those starts were against the Rockies and the White Sox, who've combined for like 15 wins or something. Like it's terrible. Uh, Leiter also walks a ton of hitters, 20 walks in his last 31 innings. So,
Wow.
like, I really hope it's him on the mound on Friday because this dude's like due to get blown up. Like, again, 4.17 ERA for Leiter. I know you love that. You love the Statcast numbers, Tito, from Fangraphs. His expected ERA 4.89, 4.48 FIP, and a 5.06 XFIP. That just means really, really bad. He's due for regression. So I think we could see. I think we could see something here similar to what we saw in the Wednesday game in Baltimore against that Povich guy, who was also a fraud, where the Cardinals just have runners all over the bases and they're creating havoc. And I just don't think the Rangers can keep up offensively. Like, would you agree? Like, I just feel like the Cardinals, what they do really well is just get on base and don't
Right.
make outs. I just feel like this is a really good matchup if it is indeed Libby against Leiter.
Yeah, totally agree. And you're 100% right. That Orioles starter from Wednesday was an absolute fraud. And the fact of the matter is that the Cardinals know how to get on base. They're batting with high averages, which is something that's it's a breath of fresh air from my perspective. So yeah, I like your method. I like your method of the madness in regards to you know where you're going with this betting analysis. So definitely concur with the over on this one, and taking maybe the Cardinals with the run line. That's it. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I just think there's no way the Cardinals should be the underdog to win this series. It's just
Right.
you would just look at the offense. I looked at the numbers. This is just stunning to me with just how many unders cash in these Texas games. The Rangers have scored 3 runs or less 35 times this season already. That's in 61% of their games. They score 3 runs or less. The Cardinals have only scored 3 runs or less just 19 times,
Ouch.
just
Okay.
34% of their games. So I just think if the Cardinals get to 4 runs in these games, they're going to win. And I fully expect them
Right.
to do that on Friday or Saturday. So really good feeling about the Cardinals. But even if you don't have a really good feeling about who is going to win a game or maybe what the total is going to be, you don't have to worry about that because you can always focus on just player props. And you can do that with DraftKings Pick Six. Download DraftKings Pick Six today. It's the easiest way to play for cash and take a shot at a big win. Just select 2 or more players from any sport and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. So for Friday, I'd be looking at Liberatore under on his earned runs. If it's lighter for the Rangers, over on his earned runs, over on his walks. Also, Brendan Donovan, Mason Wynn, over's looking really good for them right now. Those dudes are on fire. Those are the kinds of things that you can do on DraftKings Pick Six. It's available in most states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Missouri, and more. So cash in your player prop knowledge. New players get $50 in Pick Six credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app and use code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5. Get $50 in Pick Six credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick Six from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick Six not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick Six credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at picksix.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, Tito, let's move on and talk about a game I am very eager to watch on Saturday afternoon, and that is St. Louis City SC at home against the San Jose Earthquakes. Sean got his wish because of his new manager bounce time, brother. Olaf Melberg is out. David Critchley has come up from City 2 to serve as the caretaker manager, which I love that term in soccer, by the way. I have a feeling you don't love that.
No, absolutely not. What the fuck is a caretaker manager? Big whoop on that. And what's the deal? Why can't we bring back Hackworth? Did he do such a terrible job last year? He's only the technical director. I got a lot to say about this Lutz and how Hackworth is his right-hand man. Big whoop on this press conference today. I am loaded for bear, but let's get into the picks and then I can get on my soapbox.
No, man, give it to us because really, like, the search is getting underway for a permanent manager. But in the meantime, Critchley is going to be the caretaker manager, be in charge on Saturday against San Jose. And this is what everybody's talking about. The firing, first of all, what happening, the timing of the firing of when it happened after he runs practice and talks to the media. So just very strange. Like, Tito, you're a season ticket holder. You're a paying customer. So, like, your opinion does matter, in my opinion, because I think a lot of this move had to do with the business of the team and the style of play they're putting out there. So just like, what do you think of the move and just how everything has been handled throughout this whole process here?
Yeah, so I guess the move is what it is, right? I was never a fan of I forget the guy's name, Melberg already. Big whoop. It's been like 10 games, but my goodness, I was optimistic when they first hired him, defensive minded coach and having a lot of experience with younger teams and over in Europe. So I was excited initially, but my oh my, after the first few games and the offensive strategy was absolutely abysmal. They were packing it in. So I definitely was kind of underwhelmed in that aspect. I was optimistic from a defensive standpoint, but then things just went off the rails after a few injuries to Kessler and a few others, and a few guys stopped knowing how to play football, like the Europeans like to say. But this Lutz fella and this Diego fella, what a big woof on this press conference this afternoon. I was watching it and I was losing my damn mind. I'll tell you that right now. They're talking about, I wrote notes down. They're talking about data. I don't give a crap about data. Don't bore me with data, okay? I've had enough to hear with the nonsense with the analytical crap for the baseball team. I don't need to hear this data nonsense from them in regards to why they hired Melberg in the first place, okay? The fact of the matter is that these guys have been completely inept. We've been talking about it for the last several weeks. The player evaluation, just because you play in the Bundesliga doesn't mean that you're going to translate into a good MLS player. And that's evident from this standpoint. They talked about how at the press conference, how they need to start getting a little bit more, a few more people involved. They've been optimistic about Joyner being on the team. I think he's now out of options. He's going to be moved up to the national team for the under 20 national team. But where's the youth movement? When you bring up Critchley, who is supposedly this all-star of a coach for City 2, but none of the City 2 players are making the move up to the City team or making a difference. And now you're sitting here telling me that I should be leaving in Critchley because City 2 has been a really, really productive team, and we didn't want to move Hackworth up because City 2, is doing dynamite, and we want to make sure that we're winning at that level. The last time I remember, MLS is what you want to win. You don't really care about championships for City 2 or for this youth academy unless those players are going to be making the move up and having impact results in the MLS team. So I'm a big wolf on all this nonsense. There was no accountability from these guys whatsoever. There was a bunch of blames. It was a bunch of, we're gonna have to evaluate again. We liked our mythology. We liked what we were looking for in a coach. And it's going to be kind of rough because there's not a lot of open coaches right now. It's the middle of the season. It was a bunch of fucking excuses. I can't stand excuses. Come to the press conference. Be accountable. Tell us what you're going to do to fix it. And all I heard was a bunch of mumbo jumbo from both Diego and from Lutz. So I've had it up to here with the nonsense. I want ownership to step in. I want to hear ownership come in and tell me what they're going to do and what the plan is, because the plan currently is an absolute atrocious and it's an absolute complete fraud of what's going on down there. And now I've had it up to here with the nonsense.
I mean, they even admitted during the press conference that they want someone with MLS experience, but there's not a lot out there right now.
Right.
So I'm good with the move, just letting go Melber. You can just, it wasn't working. I know he was kind of, he was not handed he was not given a good hand in this in terms of the injuries that have happened. I know that's been a factor in this, but just very uninspiring play. And really just I even go back to the very, very first season, which is obviously a smashing success. But if you really dig into it, if you look at expected goal numbers, City was pretty far down the table. There was a lot of good fortune in that. Obviously, you make your own luck a lot of times in life, but
right.
I don't know. I think the chickens kind of came home to roost last season. As you saw the regression happen, and this season under new leadership, it's just been a disaster. But when you fire a coach, the best part about it is the next game, right, Tito? It's the next game, because let's talk about this game, because it's time to cash in on this, because we've been talking about this on the show. City's winless streak is now up to 11 games in MLS play, 8 losses and 3 draws. You got the San Jose team coming to St. Louis in 7th place in the Western Conference. I don't know if you've seen this. They're a very fun team because they score a lot of goals, but they give up a lot of goals too. San Jose, the top scoring team in MLS with 33 goals in 16 games. Just overall, there have been an average of 3.68 total goals in their games this season. So San Jose, obviously a high-flying team. I was hoping we were going to get a nice price on City, where they were an underdog, maybe around plus 175 or so in this one, but no such luck. I think the books are expecting a new manager bounce as well. City, a plus 105 favorite in this one, almost odds on it into the minus territory. San Jose, a plus 205 underdog, draw set at plus 280. High total here because of San Jose and the crazy games they play. which is warranted that the total is 3, and the overs juiced up to minus 140. The unders even money plus 100. So Tito, we've been talking about it. Are you betting the new manager bounce on Saturday?
Hell no. Hell no. This club, no, I'm not. I'm not buying it. Okay, I'm not buying the new club bounce. I think they talked about earlier today too about having a few guys back from injury. I think Leuven might be playing a lot of the game. I know that there's a few other guys that might be coming back, but no, I'm not buying this crap. Okay, big woof. They still don't have any goal scoring. They got no imagination up top. Klaus can't finish. Klaus can't produce. He can't do anything. This toy shirt, he can't finish anything. He had a one-on-one opportunity last week, and he can't finish. I mean, what are we doing? This guy has no. And then Hartel, what a big bust that guy is. Big wolf. Betcher, he's acting like he's still playing Slew Bilkins college soccer. So yeah, I was high on him at the beginning of the season. I'm not high on him anymore. I'm not high on any of these clowns. Okay, so no, I'm not buying the new manager bonds. I think they get beat. I think they get beat handily. I think San Jose. They're taking it personally. They got last year. This is what happened against San Jose last year. They got the new manager bounce, and City came in and actually put it to San Jose and won that first game with Hackworth at the helm. But I don't think that's going to happen this year. Like you said, San Jose's dynamic offensively. Sure, they maybe leak goals left and right, but when you can't score, when you have no offensive imagination, when you don't have goal scorers up top, it doesn't matter if you're going to try to leak goals or not. So no, give me San Jose all day long. Give me that money line of that plus 125. You said
the City's a plus 105 favorite. San Jose to win the game is plus 205.
Give me the plus 205 all day long for San Jose to win the game, Daddy.
Yeah, so a little over 2-1 on your money. If you like them to win by margin, San Jose minus 1.5 is plus 475. So almost 5-1 for San Jose to win by more than one goal, which if it was still Olaf here, I think that might be a decent bet. But I am a total believer in the new manager, new head coach bounce, whatever you want to say it. Like, I wish the price was better, but City plus 105 in the money line, it's just an automatic bet for me. It just is. There's no thinking about it because I'm just a total believer in this phenomenon. I remember when the Blues let Bannister go back in November and Monty came in. Remember they're playing the Rangers in the next game at MSG, and I bet the Blues to win, and their odds were plus 200. And the Blues just beat the piss out of the Rangers. Like, it was total domination from start to finish. And just for City, we were in the same exact spot less than a year ago. They fire Bradley Carnell. The caretaker manager comes in. my caretaker manager. I'm gonna say this as long as I can here. And their very first game was a home game against the San Jose Earthquakes of all teams. City won that game 2-0. They played amazing, and I expect the same thing here. Like, it looks like they're getting healthy. They're gonna have more energy here, and I just think this is a terrible spot for San Jose. They played a late game Wednesday night at the LA Galaxy. So on the West Coast, they get that late game. Now they got to turn around and short rest, fly to St. Louis and play not Saturday night, but this game's on Saturday afternoon, Tito.
Yeah.
So this game starts at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time for these guys from San Jose with their body clocks. I just think they're going to have tired legs. City didn't play this week. They're going to be fresh. Obviously, they're going to be motivated, new energy. I just think they're going to be all over these guys from the jump. This is just a one-unit play for me. I'm not getting crazy here, especially with that price not being great. But, like, I'll take City on the money line at plus 105. Like I said, it's an automatic bet. I'm not sure what happens after this, but the new manager bounce is real for me. And I think for one game, we will see it on Saturday where they play just like bats out of hell. Who knows after that? But I think they win this game. I just feel really, really good about that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And, and folks, my hyperbole here, my hot takes going on here, it's kind of reminiscent of the Cardinals at the beginning of the season. I was not high on the Cardinals, so I was laying into them. And look at what happened to the Cardinals. So maybe Tito's got maybe Tito is trying to play a little mind games because everyone knows that Berkey and Leuven and Lutz, they all watch Domesticated Gamblers from time to time, so they know when Tito's talking trash. So maybe they take what I'm talking about to heart, and they come out with a great performance Saturday afternoon. So that's kind of a little inside baseball to some of Tito's hot takes, baby.
I love City because I keep cashing in on them. It's now 7-2 in my last 9 picks for City, so I love this club. I've been waiting for this too. I told myself I don't care who they're playing. I don't care what the odds are. First game after Olaf gets fired, I'm betting City to win. I expect to see that on Saturday. Also want to talk quickly about this Battlehawks game on Friday night. They will be in DC to take on the Defenders, and this is an odd situation here because this game means absolutely nothing for both these teams. So no matter what happens, we know these teams are going to meet next Sunday, June 8th at the Dome in the conference championship game. Battlehawks are just on fire. They have won 5 in a row. They do come into this game as a 2.5-point road favorite. Total is set at 42.5, which seemed high to me. I'll get us started here. I would not recommend touching this game. Anyone out there? Because we don't know who's going to play or for how long. And maybe more importantly, I don't think these coaches want to show each other anything. And I totally get that. I wouldn't either. So I'm not going to bet this one, but my lean would definitely be on the under. I just think we get a low scoring game where these teams play close to the vest. And it's essentially like a glorified scrimmage. You know what I mean? So that would be my lean, would be under 42.5. I think this could be super low scoring, go way under. What do you think, Tito?
Yeah, I got a little bit of egg on my face after my take last week in regards to shipping the under when it was a 39.5. And I think City almost covered the over under last week with the amount of points they scored.
Battlehawks, yeah.
There you go, Battlehawks. See, I'm still fired up over the damn City team. Wig wolf on the So yeah, Battlehawk wise, I think I agree with your analysis in regards to the coaches not wanting to show a whole hell of a lot. I mean, why isn't the XFL championship game this week? I mean, since we're playing in DC, why does the game have to be in St. Louis when the Battlehawks are going to be the so-called away team? Big woof to the UFL. Get your schedule straight, Daddy. Rock, I know what you're cooking. You gotta come to St. Louis, Daddy. We need to see you in St. Louis in the Dome, baby. And but let me tell you something. Love the Battlehawks. But yeah, don't touch this game, folks. Stay away from it. Listen to Easy E, and let's just enjoy Friday night watching some scrimmage football. Maybe put Mr. Sharp should come back home from Florida. Maybe they could make him the honorary coach and kind of show us some of the razzle-dazzle flag football plays that he's developing for those Seckman Tigers.
I did see the Battlehawks have moved up to be now the favorite to win the championship. They're plus 205 on DraftKings. This is very tight. Battlehawks plus 205 favorite to win it all. Michigan right behind a plus 215. Birmingham plus 270. The DC Defenders a little farther back at plus 450. So I would expect the Battlehawks to be favored in that conference championship game. Man, I just think this is the year.
They're on a mission.
Parade down Market Street in front of 30,000 people?
No.
I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Not a chance. There might be a parade down in Texas where they train. There ain't going to be no parade here in St. Louis. No doubt about it. But Anthony Beck's got this team firing. They're on a mission. I honestly think that he's coaching for either a college job or for an NFL assistant job or a coordinator job, because he's got this team humming 5 in a row. And they're playing great. They're playing great, great defense. And last week, they kind of let the offensive playbook, come out. And I love to see what the Battlehawks are doing. So let's see them take it home and win the XFL championship game, conference championship game. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm curious what they do if they win the title. I hope we get an opportunity to see what happens. Let's move on to these NBA and NHL playoffs. Again, we were recording this on Thursday night, May 29th. My Indiana Pacers could not come through tonight and finish off cashing my plus 2,100 ticket to win the Eastern Conference. The Knicks really just take their measure tonight, but we have Game 6 will be Saturday night in Indiana as the Pacers try to close it out for me and for everybody else out there rooting for the Pacers. Uh, Pacers a 4-point favorite to do so on Saturday night in Game 6. Your total is all the way down to 220, as we saw a very low scoring game tonight. So, Tito, do the Pacers get it done? Do the Knicks cover? Where are we going? Or are you thinking total? There are a lot of different options here.
Eric's hole is getting way tight, folks. My oh my, this Pacer team, they got to come out on fire on Saturday night, I guess it's going to
Yep.
be.
Yep.
They got to come out. And Halliburton's got to have a strong performance at home. Had a terrible performance tonight. But my oh my, I don't know. I like the Knicks in this matchup. I know Mr. Sharp was in Florida. He was sitting with a New York guy for the game on Sunday where you were in Indianapolis, and he was talking with a New York guy, and he was calling me, he was texting me, blowing me up. He's a Dookie fan. He was loving the Knicks. He was MFing the freaking Pacers all night long, and I think Sean even put a little small taste on the Knicks, so a little ouch to you, Daddy. But I'll tell you what, I hope the Pacers come through on Saturday night, but all indications are it's not looking very promising. Maybe they'll pull an Oklahoma City and just take care of business for the next home game and completely annihilate the Knicks and go on to the NBA Finals against those pesky Thunder team.
Yeah, Thunder really good. I do think, obviously, I'm already invested. I'm not putting any additional money on this. I think the Pacers are going to get it done on Saturday night. I think they cover the 4. We've seen this. They got their asses handed to them. The game they lost to the Bucks in round 1 and the Cavs in game 2, they got crushed in both those games, much like they did tonight. And they bounced back with wins both times. Obviously, they lost game 3 against the Knicks when I was there last Sunday night, and they bounced back with the win. I think the holes were a little tight tonight. I think maybe they weren't quite ready to do what it takes at MSG, but back home in front of those fans, I do feel like they're going to get it done. They were in this round last year, got swept by the Celtics. They dispatched the Knicks in the second round last year.
Yeah.
I just think that they shot horribly tonight. I think you're going to see a lot of regression to the mean in a good way for the Pacers on Saturday. If I was a neutral and betting this, I think the Pacers are going to cover. They pull away late and they advance to the NBA Finals. Very interesting as I just look up the futures to win the title. OKC is a minus 750 favorite right now. So they're going to be a substantial favorite in the finals, no matter who they play. In fact, I just clicked on a market. If it is Thunder against the Pacers, the Thunder are favored at minus 800 to win the series. Pacers plus 550. I would put a little small taste on the Pacers there. That value would be crazy. OKC is very good. They should not be minus 800 against anyone. Go ahead.
I mean, OKC. I mean, what an absolute. I mean, they were shoving it down the face of everyone that was picking the Lakers to come out of the West. This team had got no respect whatsoever. You know, even from yours truly, no respect. SJP, Shea Gilgis out or whatever his name is.
You're thinking SGP. Same game parlay. You got DraftKings on the mind.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. Big woof. That guy, he doesn't shoot he doesn't shoot 3-pointers all the time, but he knows how to get to the rim, knows how to distribute. That guy's a totally unselfish player. Big kudos to him. Big kudos to the Thunder. Anyone that's calling the NBA a conspiracy league, yeah, big woof to that. They would not want to have Oklahoma City in the finals, folks. Let me tell you that right now. Okay, so if it's an Oklahoma, Indiana Pacers final, everyone can shut their damn traps about NBA being a conspiracy league. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it'll be good ball no matter who is in the final. It's definitely very, very fun to watch. Frankly, I know I'm biased with the Pacers, but I'm enjoying the NBA playoffs more than the NHL playoffs this year. I think part of that is the Blues heartbreak. It's still just kind of in my body and I can't fully get it out, but we're going to have an incredible final as the Oilers and Panthers are going to face each other once again in the Stanley Cup final as the Oilers take care of your boy Pete DeBoer and the Dallas Stars tonight, Tito. As they finally
it's beautiful.
I never want that guy to win a cup. I never want him to win a cup. Get him out of here. But this should be a fantastic series. It is nearly a coin flip as you look at the series prices. And yeah, it is now updated, Tito. It is a total coin flip. Both the Panthers and the Oilers are both minus 110 to win the series as they play each other in the Stanley Cup final. You have a lean there. If you had to bet on who wins the series, who would you go with?
Yeah, if I had a lean, I would go with Edmonton. Think Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Love saying that name.
Good name.
I like those guys. I think they're having a good play. They're having a good playoff performance. They've locking down the hatches related to the penalty kill. I'll tell you that right now. So it's been really, really impressive to see them block shots and not give up a lot of power play goals or a lot of even power play chances. So I like the Oilers in this matchup. Bring home the cup since the first time since 1990. Is there any sort of play in DraftKings related to if the series goes 7 games? Like, can you have like an odds, like not necessarily who will win, but will the series go 7 games? Because I definitely think we're in for a 7-game series in this matchup.
It's a great question. I'm looking at it right now. The odds are not as good as they thought they would be. For the series to go 7 games, you'd only get plus 200 on your payout. 6 games and 7 games are both priced up at plus 200. 5-game series is at plus 270, and a 4-game sweep would be plus 600. So I thought the 6-game would be the favorite there. I guess it's technically the co-favorite, but they went 7 last year. I wouldn't be stunned if we see it again.
Yeah, so, and that and with what Army did with Broberg and Holloway, let's kind of let Edmonton win this one. Take the pain off of Army doing the restricted free agent move, the offer sheet move. So, let's let the Oil win one here and let Connor McDavid have his time with the cup, Daddy.
Yeah. I hope they get it done. Remember how he won the Conn Smythe last year, even though they lost in Game 7, and he's in the locker room. You could hear Bettman announcing him as the Conn Smythe winner on the ice. He's just like staring into an abyss, like just despondent. I'll be rooting hard for the Oil here to get it done and win the cup. All right, it is time for our best bets. Sean is not here, even though he is on fire. He has won 3 in a row after an easy win on the T-Wolves in Game 3 against OKC. He's been red hot lately, just not just best bets, but really everything. As hearing the things that he likes to bet on. So we'll have to wait until next week to see if he can make it 4 in a row. I did see Sean's best bet on Padres over 13.5 wins in the month of May has come down to the wire here. He needs the Padres to beat the Pirates on both Friday and Saturday, and if they do that, he cashes the bet. If they lose one of those games, he loses. So that is coming out of the wire here this weekend. I was a winner last week, cashing my prop play on Andrew Nemhard to go over his point total in Game 2. Tito, you were a loser in your Knicks play. We're just going to chalk that up as a learning experience for you, and we're going to move on from it.
My take was right on cue. I told you the Knicks were going to come out and win the first quarter. That was my best bet. None of this nonsense that what's on DraftKings or not, folks. Big Wolf and all that. Find a local bookie that will take a bet where the Knicks will win the first quarter, and then you would have been winning money left and right. I tell you that right now. So Big Wolf to you, Eric. I don't know what stats you're looking at. I don't know what site you're looking at, but I'll tell you right now, I got robbed.
It was kind of fitting last week that Sean and I both win, and you kind of were going to win, but because of your inexperience with gambling, it ends up as a loser. But hey man, that's why we're doing this. We got till December 1st for you, baby. You're gonna be ready to roll December 1st. So I will get us going here. My best bet comes from the game that will be the most watched sporting event on planet Earth this year. It is not the Super Bowl, Tito. I'm talking about the Champions League final. I looked this up today. It will have 3 to 4 times the viewership worldwide as the Super Bowl will. Yeah. So this game is massive. It takes place on Saturday afternoon with Inter Milan taking on PSG. My best bet is real simple. It's under 2.5 goals in the game. And my reasoning is 6 straight Champions League finals have gone under 2.5. Every year I watch this game, you have all this attacking talent out there with all these incredible players. And every year it's tight, it's tense, and most times it's one moment of magic that gets it done. Last time PSG was in the Champions League final, they lost 1-0 to Bayern Munich in 2020. Inter Milan was in this game in 2023. They lost to Man City, also 1-0. So someone is going to win it on Saturday. I think it's going to be a 1-0 game again. My best bet, this was a no-brainer for me. Inter Milan, PSG, under 2.5 in the Champions League final on Saturday. It is priced up at -125 on DraftKings. I bet this much earlier at -110. I would still take it at -125. I would take it up to -130. Tito, what do you have for your best bet here on the show?
Well, I've referenced my fantasy baseball team a handful of times over the beginning with the Cardinals, so we're gonna go with my best bet. It's one of my fantasy baseball pitchers. It's a guy that I'm absolutely high on. The New York Yankees, Max Fried. He's rocking the mustache right now, Daddy, and so I love the first 5 under. I think there's supposed to be a little bit of rain in New York tomorrow night against the Dodgers, which has me a little bit worried. But I was looking at weather.com. I was looking at the radar, and I was putting on my meteorology hat, and I think they're going to be able to get this game in without having any delays. So I'm going to go with Max Fried. This guy has been absolutely dominant over the season. I mean, I think he's a top 10 pitcher in fantasy for fantasy baseball purposes. And so yeah, give me the first 5 under. I think it's -115 at DraftKings. And that's going to be my best bet for the Yankees, Dodgers, first 5 under.
All right. So yeah, first 5 under 4.5 is your total. So under 4.5 in the first 5 innings, Yankees and Dodgers Friday night at -115 for Tito's best bet. Don't mind that. Don't mind that one bit. I think the over is going to be a popular play with those two teams.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. Max Fried is currently the second favorite in the American League to win the Cy Young. Tarek Skubal -120 favorite. Max Fried next up at +450. He has been dynamite for you. So hopefully we both get a couple winners here this weekend, Tito. Let's get to our home team plays of the week. These are our favorite plays in the games involving the local teams. Tito, I'll let you go first on this one. Where are you going for yours?
What? While I'm giving my home team play of the week, can you check the Cardinals, see if maybe did the line come back out? Did the line come out for tomorrow night? And while he's looking that up, folks, again, I'm high on these Redbirds. I think the Texas Rangers are an absolute abysmal of a franchise. They're not going to be any retribution from 2011 World Series. So give me the Cardinals in that series when you got Matthew Liberatore, you got Sonny Gray in the first 2 games of the series. I don't care if Eric Fetty's is pitching in the 3rd game against Jacob deGrom. Big wolf on Jacob deGrom. He'll probably get hurt breaking a toenail tomorrow or Saturday night. He probably won't even start on Sunday. So give me the Cardinals to win this series. That's my home team play of the week. I'm not going to go anti-St. Louis by giving my my hot take with the STL City or with the Battlehawks. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals to win the series against the Rangers, Daddy.
Yeah, really, really like that play, but it is not my home team play of the week. It's new manager bounce time, Tito. I just could be very, very surprised if City doesn't win this game. I usually fade them in the segment. I am now taking them. I talked about how this is just a terrible spot for San Jose too. I think people don't realize how hard that is to play at 9:30 Central Time on a Wednesday night, and then you're playing at 1:30 Central Time on Saturday. A couple days later, while your opponent has been sitting there resting all week, and they're all fired up to get out there and play and prove that they are a good team, which they're not. But at least they can play like one for one day. I just think City plays their asses off on Saturday. My home team play of the week, City on the money line at +105 on DraftKings. All right, Tito, a little shorter show this week without Sean yammering away with us, but enjoyed it, brother. Anything else you want to add before we sign off for the evening?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I hope Mr. Sharp joins us again next week. I hope he comes out of the darkness wherever he might be, maybe in Florida. Hopefully we have some time next week to chit chat with him, learn about his family experience down in Florida. So hope he comes home safe. Eric, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you ice down that rear end after that Pound Town. I took you to Pound Town and pickleball. I got some scouts calling me about joining the pro pickleball tour, Daddy. So Tito may not be here next week, but I signed that lucrative pickleball contract. I'll tell you that right now. But no, in all seriousness, great show. Had a lot of fun, and let's see some of these bets cash. And I'll do Mr. Sharp's. I'll do his closing line for you today. How about that? I feel pretty good. So let's do that.
That sounds good, brother. Well, that's going to do it for our show here tonight Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the Sports Hub STL YouTube channel, and leave a comment on this video to let us know what bets you like this weekend or how bad you don't like our bets for this weekend. But we've been doing pretty well. Last week was a really, really good show for us. I know for me in particular. And everyone out there, get a quote from James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. You will not be disappointed. Again, I have an extra $800 in my pocket this year because I made the switch to James for my home and auto policies. Tito's saving a bunch of money as well. See what they can do for you. Click the link in the YouTube description to go to carltoninsurance.net or give them a call, 314-961-4800. For Sean out on assignment, for Tito, I am Eric. This has been Domesticated Gamblers here on Sports Hub STL, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Thanks for being with us, guys, and we will see you next Friday.
And let's cash!